Are there big serve rule changes coming for 2026? Well, the rule book is out, and the answer is yes and no. Let me be clear. There are no significant serve rule changes coming in 2026. However, they've cleaned up the language, changed some of the formatting, and the changes in the rule book are bound to confuse some players and make them think that there's something new in the rule book. So today, I'm going to go through the rules that govern the serve, the definitive guide to both the drop and the volley serve, and try and clear up some of those misunderstandings. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share with you what is sure to be, because it always is, a controversial opinion on how you should handle a suspected illegal serve in rec play. Hey everybody, my name is CJ Johnson, and together with my partner Tony Roy, we help pickleball players over 50 live their best lives on and off the pickleball courts. So one of the questions that we are asked over and over and over again is that serve legal? Again, no major changes in the rule book, but let's cover the things that are important to a legal serve. And let's start with the things that the two serves, the drop serve and the volley serve, have in common. The first thing that both serves have in common is where you have to stand. And some players may not know this. The only place in the rule book that it tells you where you have to stand is here on the serve. So in Rule 7 this year, it breaks down where you need to stand by using three terms. It uses the term grounded, outside the court, and in the serving area. Now, if you want to pause this video to read the exact rules, feel free to do that. Otherwise, I am going to put a link to all the rules that I talk about today down in the description. As you can see, Rule 7A goes into detail about where you have to stand, point of contacts, things like that. Let me give you just a really simple way to boil this down and to think about it. At the time that you're making contact with the ball, make sure that you have 1 foot behind the baseline. And here's a little bonus. It really doesn't add any value to your serve to be over towards the center line or over towards the sideline. So rather than create controversy, just don't go to that position. Keep yourself safely behind that baseline and inside of those two lines, and you're well within the rules. The next section covers both serves as well, and it talks about the release. The release is broken down in the rule book this year in 3 sections: hand or paddle release, no manipulation or spin upon release, and a visible release. Now, this is sometimes where there's a disconnect between what players see when they watch a pro tournament and what's actually in the rule book. The players at the pro level of a PPA tournament have a different set of rules that govern the release of the serve. Oftentimes, players misinterpret the rule to say that the release can't move upward. What the rule says, and again, you can stop it and read it, it talks specifically about manipulation of the release as it relates to spin. So there is some natural motion, it can be natural upward motion, of the release of the serve allowed under the rules. A safe way to think about this rule for yourself is to make sure that whether it is a volley release or a drop serve release, that your opponent can see it. You can use your hand or your paddle, and don't add any extra spin to the release. Now that you know what the two serves have in common, let's talk about the differences between the serve. We'll start with the drop serve. The drop serve is made by releasing the ball and hitting the ball after the ball bounces. What's important to note about the drop serve is that the rules cover the drop, not the swing. So the first one on the drop serve is you can reach your arm up as high as you would like to, as long as it's unaided. I guess that means you couldn't get on a chair or maybe stand on your partner's back. I'm not really sure exactly which one it means, but you can release the ball from as high as you would like. I guess you can even stand on your tippy toes, right? Yeah. But you can't do anything other than that. And there's an advantage to releasing the ball high. So if I hold my arm up here and I release this ball, I'm catching it right here. That's around, my knees or my thigh. That's generally a great place to hit the ball from. Whereas if I take my arm now, and I'm going to lower it down here a little bit, and I just simply drop the ball, you'll notice the height of the bounce, or the apex of the bounce, is significantly lower. Well, some players may like it here, but I think for the majority of players, a little bit higher of a bounce is beneficial when it comes to contact. So you are within the rules to hold this as high as you possibly can, as long as you don't have any help. The next piece to cover the drop is it's a drop. You cannot propel the ball in any direction. So I can't hold it up here and using my wrist or my arm, toss it down. If you'll notice, the minute I did that, the ball comes up significantly higher. So again, hence the name, it is a drop serve, not a bounce serve. You just have to allow the ball to drop. You cannot propel the ball in any direction. The next rule governing the drop is you don't have to hit it after the first bounce. You can allow the ball to bounce as many times as you would like before you hit the shot. Now, I'm not really sure why you'd want to do that, because when you let it bounce, it is definitely going to be lower and potentially a more difficult serve to hit. I don't know that there's an advantage to it, but there isn't a rule against it. And the last question that is commonly asked is, where does the ball have to bounce? A lot of players think that the ball has to bounce behind the baseline, and it doesn't. It just has to bounce anywhere on the playing surface. So it can bounce behind the baseline. It can also bounce inside of the court. So the ball can bounce anywhere on the playing surface. And those are the rules for the drop serve. There's nothing in the rules that covers what the paddle has to do on the drop serve. Just the drop. Do you want to know the shots that you need to get to a 3-5 and above level? Click the link on above. We'll send you a free guide that's going to help you to develop those shots. Now let's move on to the rules for the volley serve. So the volley serve is when you hit the serve out of the air. Different from the drop serve. In the drop serve, all of those rules covered the drop itself and not the motion. In the volley serve, the majority of rules cover the motion. So let's get into those three things. So these three are the ones that are most often misunderstood. So the rule book this year breaks them down into three categories: upward arc, paddle head, and ball height. So you can look here for the exact wording of the rules, but in essence, the server's paddle must be moving in an upward arc. This second one, paddle head, this is often misunderstood. Again, the exact rules are going to be here, or how it's written is here on the screen, and you can click the show notes if you want to download those to share them with your friends. But in essence, what it means is this, is at the point of contact, the highest part of the paddle cannot be above my wrist joint. So as an example, that would be an illegal serve, whereas this would be a legal serve. So let me show you a legal one and an illegal one. So here's the legal one. Here's an illegal one. And then the last one is the server's waist. At contact, the ball must not be any higher than the server's waist. So here is a legal serve. Let me show you what's commonly an illegal serve. You see this a lot in a lob serve. There, the contact was clearly above my waist. An easy way I like to think about the volley serve is low to high, relax my arm. I feel like I'm throwing it forward. I don't have a lot of tension in my wrist. And out in front of me. If I do that, generally I'm going to follow the serve rules. All right, so here comes the controversial part, is how do you handle a suspected illegal serve in rec play? And I'm going to say it very plainly. Don't call it. Now, for all you rules people, hang on just a second here, because let me explain why I am suggesting that. Calling an illegal serve, unless it is blatantly illegal, like an overhead smash type of serve, is extremely difficult to call. In tournament play, trained referees stand at the net, and unless they see something flagrant, they don't make the call. And the reason is that without slow motion video, it is very difficult to tell if the serve is actually illegal. And that referee not only has been trained, that referee is standing 20 feet closer to the server than someone who is returning. A while back, Tony and I shot this video where we moved the camera around to show you just how difficult it is to be sure that is an illegal serve when you are standing in the receiver's position. And here's the thing. In rec play, I've never seen an instance yet where a player has called an illegal serve on another player, and that player has said, yes, that serve was illegal. Please help me to understand what I'm doing wrong. Now, it may happen, but I've never seen it. In fact, what I've seen is the opposite. It has caused friction between those two players, and sometimes within the club itself. Now again, I'm not telling you to ignore the rule. What I am telling you is the majority of players who are making that call are not in a position to be able to make that call definitively. So before you do that, make sure that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that serve is indeed an illegal serve. Now, if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you've put it on video and you know that that serve is an illegal serve, let me give you one last tip. Don't call that serve during a game or in front of other people. Take that player aside, share the information you have, both the rule book and the video that you have, and tell that player that here's what you see and here's what the rules are, and make the suggestion that they should change to conform to the rules. Hopefully that has cleaned up some of the mystery around the serve rules. Now, if you want to get to the 3.5 level and beyond, I have got a free must-have shots guide for you right over here, because together we can train smart, live bold, and age well.